We got the BMW on the lift again today because 2-3 weeks ago, something like that, I had an issue with one of the vacuum canisters on this. And you probably saw that video if you're watching my channel or whatever, but one of my vacuum canisters got damaged in the accident that this car was in, and it had no burst or anything, whatever. Long story short, I'd pulled the skid pan off the bottom of it, and when I took the skid pan off, there was a bunch of oil around the bell housing and stuff like that. And I totally ignored it because I was trying to diagnose what was going on with the turbos, which turned out to be a broken canister. So I put the new canister on it. We've been driving it for about 3 weeks. I just need to go back in and see what's going on with that oil leak. I don't think it was very bad. It was just kind of seeping down all over the bell house and stuff like that. So I just pulled it in. I just threw it up in the air. I haven't looked at it yet, but I know that it's going to be completely covered in oil. I don't think that this is a 335i with an N54 engine. I don't believe this engine has the pressure relief valve that screws into the side of the block like the M3s have. I don't believe it has. I'm going to check because that's pretty failure prone. On these is a little O-ring. It just gets hard, brittle, falls apart, and yeah, leaks, right? I don't believe it has that valve. I'm going to check, and then we're going to see if we can figure out where our oil leak is. All right, so let me kind of orientate you. So if you're coming in from the front, there's your front bumper, right? Okay, you're coming in from the front, and this is the passenger side with the cats, and this is the side where it's more prone for oil leaks just because of the amount of heat that's going to be happening on this side. And sure enough, we do have a fairly decent oil leak going on here. Let me see if I can get you guys up in here. So hopefully you can see that. So it's you know, it's pretty oily down here. It sure looks like it's coming from up top. I mean, I can see the oil. I don't know what you guys can see, but I can see it running down the block. And let me stick this light. Oh, fuck. Oh my god. I should have put gloves on. What I want to do is see if I can get that valve cover. Oh shit, yeah, look. It's coming out of the valve cover. Let me see if I can zoom you in. Oh, where is it? So right there, if it focuses, maybe. Come on. Focus! Right there. Oh, I had it. There you go. So that's the back of your valve cover. You can see it's leaking out of the back of the valve cover. And then it's running down the side, around the bell housing, and freaking leaking on my floor. So that's what's going on. This thing needs a valve cover. Yeah, that's what it is. Which I believe is also fairly common on these. And valve covers don't seem to last long. But yeah, you can see the amount of oil that's coming out of it, right? I mean, it's not losing oil to the point where you have to top it off or anything like that. But I am not a fan of oil leaks. I think I said that before. In here is probably puddled up oil. So I'm not even going to pull the cover off it. Which, that's the reason why I put it up in the air, was to pull that lower skid pan off again and get a good look up in there. But I can see already it's coming from the valve cover. So that's how you can quickly, you know, take a peek at your motor and find if you have oil leaks or where they're coming from and whatnot. You know, oil only goes so high in an engine, so you kind of work your way from the top down. It's a fairly common failure on that N54 engine, that valve cover gasket in that specific corner. You know, will get hard, brittle, and start leaking oil. You know, the exhaust headers, they're right there, so the thing's getting heat soaked all the time. And then with the shape of that engine, you know, naturally that oil's going to want to, you know, settle in that back corner anyway. So you've got the heat soak going on, you've got oil pulled up back there. Yeah, eventually that valve cover is going to, or the valve cover gasket's going to start leaking on you. it's a fairly shitty job. If I looked at the repair info for it, and BMW wants you to, it's several hours. They want you to disconnect the DME and move all the wiring out of the way, and the airbox has to come off, all that stuff. No big deal. I don't think I'm going to do it that way. I'm just going to take, not that the DME is hard to work with or pull the wires or anything. It's just pretty easy. It's all time. I think I'm just going to cable tie all that wiring out of the way, and yeah, I'll see if I can get enough room to get it out of there. I think I should be able to. The valve cover on these have the fuel lines integrated into it and everything. So you gotta depressurize the fuel system, pull all the fuel lines off. And, yeah, it looks like there's a lot going on to just putting a rocker cover gasket on this thing, which it looks like it's a bit of a pain in the dick. I just rebuilt a 2-liter turbo engine for a Hyundai, and the valve cover on that's a 10-minute job. There's nothing to it. You rip it off, put a new gasket on, slap it back on, and probably 15 minutes at the most. Nothing to it. This looks like a real pain. So, but that'll be the next video I do. This was just a quick how to inspect and take a peek and see if you can find your oils peeing out.